Linda's Pantry, and today we're going to do a little jar checkup and canning chat. So in my last video when I showed you the apple pie filling and how to make it, I went over, hey, I've got apple pie filling coming out from underneath the lid because your lids will vent. That is a normal process for these lids and Tatler lids for that to happen. And I'm getting a lot of questions. Can you can juice with the Tatlers? Can you, or liquids or broth? Yes, you can. And you get a perfect seal every time. This tomato juice, I use Tatlers a lot, but I'm going to be using them a lot more only because we have a lid shortage. You can't find any lids anywhere where I live. Now, I'm fortunate enough to have, for years, every time I went to Walmart, I would pick up a package of lids. And I'd rotate back and forth, regular mouth, wide mouth, regular mouth, wide mouth. Sometimes I get one of each, and I threw them in a tote. And so I'm working out of that. I also had a sleeve of Lehman regular mouth lids, which is perfect. But I also have a lifetime supply of Tatler lids, most of which haven't even been opened because you reuse them just like your rings. You don't need a ton of them. The gaskets get replaced every 10 uses, and the lid itself, until you feel like it's stained or it doesn't look right to you, or you just can't get it to seal, and then toss it. But I don't think I've tossed but maybe 2 lids. When you can spinach or greens, it does stain the lid and it makes it look icky. I don't know. It doesn't look icky on the outside, just on the underside. Enough about that. I am a fan of Tatler lids. Now, I didn't use any Tatler lids on this apple pie filling because sometimes I will give this away. I never use or never give away my Tatler lids because you may not get them back, or you may get them back in worse condition. So Tatler lids are definitely stay in the house. This apple pie filling made such a great apple dump cake with the leftover pie filling because I made a lot, but 7 quarts, all of them sealed. And I'm gonna bring you up close. Hold on. This pie filling, this is why that inch of headspace, look how that swelled up there. And even though some of it, oops, can you see? Focus. Anyway, some of it, the pie filling, oozed down the outside of the jar. You just wash your jars up, no problem. But you've got that definite, a full quart. So when it says an inch of headspace, give it a little bit extra. Even an inch and a half is okay. You're gonna have plenty of pie filling. I use 2 quarts per pie. They say 1 quart, but that's a pretty small pie. That would be using a little 8-inch store-bought pie crust that you get in the freezer section. For a big, nice, lofty, healthy 9-inch pie that's, nice and deep, 2 quarts. Okay, or a quart per crumble, a quart per, I've got a couple different things that I'm gonna do for you using pie filling, so stay tuned for all that. We're gonna start using what I've canned in the pantry and rotate it out. This is how I use it throughout the year, and so I'm definitely gonna be bringing you along for some home canned pantry meals, as well as some home canned pantry desserts. And coming up probably next, I'm going to be making a scratch Bloody Mary with my tomato juice that will blow your mind. It's so good. It's actually like having brunch. And you can do this without the alcohol, or you can do it with vodka. I will probably, because I'm going to be doing this afternoon, I'll probably do it with a shot of vodka in there, just so I get the full effect of it. But I've already prepped a lot of this stuff, and it's going to be delicious. And it's using some of my home canned pantry stuff other than tomato juice. So stay tuned for that one. Now, canning lids, guys, if you can get them, I would highly recommend from now on stocking up, because you never know. Now, you can still get jars. I think that's where the excess lids are going, because the jars will come, a brand new flat of jars will come with a brand new set of lids and rings. So I don't need any jars. I just need lids. I don't even need rings. All I need is lids. So I'll be using a lot more Tatler lids in the future. These are the original Tatler lids that you do have to manipulate. You do have to back off when you tighten them, and you have to tighten them when they come out of the canner. They work, by what I'm seeing on videotapes, the Harvest Guard lids are similar. I mean, they've got the plastic and then the gasket, the rubber gasket. They have you do the screw bands differently. So read the directions for each one. I go by the directions on my Tatler lids, and that's how I do it. Sometimes I've been known not to tighten the jar when it comes out of the canner, and it's been just fine. But I will tell you, once you get a seal with the Tatler lid, it's very hard to get that lid off. You have to pry it off, which is wonderful, because then you know it's going to stay in your pantry. I have a jar of, well, there's a jar out there with a Tatler lid that's over 5 years old that is in perfect condition. It's still just as tight as this tomato juice. You should actually see and I can't show you on camera, you should actually see where the rubber gasket is squished to cover the whole surface area of where that lid comes in contact with the jar. So that whole surface of the rim of the jar is intact, in contact with that rubber gasket. And as the jar seals, it sucks that down, and just like a button top, and you get a great seal. So guys, I just wanted to let you know all of my jars sealed. All of them are absolutely fantastic, beautiful apple pie filling. I know, well, I mean, I hadn't had that much pie filling run out of my jars in the past, so I was like, well, I guess we're gonna see. It's I believe it's the clear gel, and that gel just expands so much, and you've got air in those apples. I don't blanch my apples. Some people will blanch them. I feel like you get mushy apples in the end when you make a pie, because this is still gonna bake in the oven. So, you know, they canned for 25 minutes, and now we're gonna go ahead and bake it for however long it takes your pie crust. I'm not gonna do that. So we're gonna do food storage pies for you. We're gonna do other desserts, me and Shotzi. And I've got some really great recipes coming up with the tomato juice, because a lot of you had questions. What are you gonna do with that darn tomato juice? All right, guys, Tatler lids, if you can get your hands on them, yes, do it. Start practicing now. Make your first run be sterilized water. That way you can kind of get the feel of what works and what doesn't. Try also, if you try maybe putting it on the way you do a normal canning lid and not tightening it, see how well that works for you using water. I wouldn't test it out on food if you're at all apprehensive. Or maybe just do a couple jars. That way if it doesn't seal, you can use it up right away. Or if it's jelly or pie filling, you can reprocess it. It's not gonna hurt it one little bit. All right, guys, let's get stocked up and get our pantry stocked for this winter, because we don't know what's going to happen with COVID. It could ramp right back up on us, and we could be in the same position later on. They have said, or I've heard, that we will be restocked when our canning season, or what the commercial market says our canning season is, because this is now in high gear right now. But once it all dies down and people's gardens go to bed and, fruit trees are done, canning season slows down for people, although it's year-round for me. The lids will be back, and I highly recommend that you get yourself as many as you can afford. Make sure you've got enough to get through the next canning season. They don't go bad. I've had some of those lids have been in there for 5 or 6 years, and they work just fine. In fact, the ones that were on here were from a while back, that's for sure. All right, guys, I can't wait to see you next time for another delicious recipe. If you have any more questions, I'm going to start addressing them in little canning chats. So this was a jar checkup and canning chat for you today. And don't forget, check the links below. I've got my Thrive website. They're fully stocked again. Go check it out. Get free shipping with every order. If you sign up as a delivery, you get 15% off. Free shipping, that makes 27% off the total cost of your Thrive order. All right.